Okay. 10 minus 5, so 5, so 17. You commit is despicable murder, but not for the sake of feeding. Why? Check a skill, remove a mortal character if you like. Not for the sake of feeding. Okay, which characters do we have? Where are my models? There we go. Sister Adela, Ernesta, Sir Aaron Trevor, and Andrew and Badger. And not for the sake of feeding. Maybe Andrew became really jealous over Badger because we visit him and we were like, oh, we're sorry that we were that gone for that long. It wasn't we didn't want to do it, right? And we told him that we're sorry, but he didn't want to listen. Or I told him that I'm sorry, but he didn't want to listen, and he became kind of persistent and took like a step forward, and we were really unsure, and we pushed him, and he fell, and then he started bleeding, because the question is, how dark do we want to do it? Because he's a stable hand, and there are sharp things in a stable. We need to check a skill more. Check a skill. What skills do we have? Caretaking of others, knowing basic etiquette. One of the thieves. I have some background information on how thieves work in this area. You committed despicable murder, but not for the sake of feeding. Why? I mean, doesn't mean we have to kill them with the skill, right? We can just push him and then we can use our knowledge as thieves to know how to call people to get rid of him so no one knows. My model kind of specs out sometimes. I don't know why. Where's Andrew? Andrew, my dear, my darling. Oh no. The Andrew experience is full. Some murders. Okay, here's the thing. If you use the thief skill to get rid of the evidence, we can put it in memory 5. This thing is, the time I spent was not that much, so like it feels bad to forget like about the nester, you know. But then what is one child for us? And I don't think we're gonna turn back. I don't think we're gonna get back. And we're gonna remember how we were made for longer. This doesn't. We could also say fuck it if we forget the nobility, but we have a diary. Wait. 17. I try to. There. Can hold up to 4 of your empire's memories. Okay. And this is gonna get pushed. Where do I have my there. Gonna make this pretty later on. Don't worry. And we have a almost, not really, but almost. Okay. Some weeks flew by before I deemed it safe enough to leave the hiding spot. From there on, I learned a lot about the ways of the thieves and beggars. No, beggars. Thieves and... the thieves of the city. The first one I visited after leaving Badger's crew behind was Andrew. To get to the skill was Andrew. Wait, to get into the stable was easy enough thanks to the slip he gave us. But talking with him, I realized he would not hear me out, giving me no space. I had no other option than to make him. It is too bad that they left the fork pitchfork. They left the pitchfork out in the open. Okay, created by prompt 17. Some weeks flew by before I deemed it safe enough to leave the hiding spot. From there on, I learned a lot about the ways of the thieves of the city. The first one I visited after leaving Badger's crew behind was Andrew. To get into the stables was easy enough, thanks to the slip he gave us. He gave me. Damn, thanks to the slip he gave me. But talking with him, I realized he would not hear me out. Giving me no space, I had no other option than to make him. It is too bad that they left the pitchfork out in the open. And then we cross out. No skill. Do you feel that? This is stupidity. And it hurts. Our skilled caretaking of others, knowing basic etiquette, one of the thieves. Okay. Easy slip. Easy. okay, we don't need the slip. Easy enough. Thanks to the information about the secret passages, the thieves know. I was able to go there unseen. Okay, some weeks flew by before I deemed it safe enough to leave the hiding spot. From there on, I learned a lot about the ways of the thieves of the city. The first one I visited after leaving Badger's crew behind was Andrew. Getting into the stable was easy enough, thanks to the information about the secret passages the thieves know. I was able to get there unseen. But talking with him, I realized he would not hear me out. Giving me no space, I had no other option than to make him. It is too bad that they left the pitchfork out in the open. I think that's okay. Then let's check one of the thieves. Bye. And I see you with a new journey entry soon. Okay. It had been nice living with people who felt the same isolation I had in my heart, even when it comes from different sources. They treated me as one of them. They did not ask questions, but also took every opportunity to gloat about the knowledge they had gathered. With that, it had been easy to find one of the young ones and made them give me the information on how to get to the stables of the nobles without having prying eyes on you. The child even suggested to show me, but I assured them that an explanation would be sufficient, which, thank God I said that. In the stables, it had been dark. There were horses getting antsy from the intruder and a few different pitches of snoring from the hay above. Whispering Andrew's name, I prayed that he would be the only one to answer. And the gods seemed to be kind to me that day, or so I still thought at the moment, because shortly after, a familiar face came into view, and a few seconds later he stood before me. I told him how happy I was to see him, how I thought that maybe he wouldn't listen, or that something would get in the way. He wanted to know where I was. And so I told him what happened. At first he seemed concerned, but as soon as I started to talk about the Badger crew and how without them I would have been caught, his face seemed slowly moved into something monstrous of its own. I asked him what he thought about, and he told me to never get to them again, how Badger would just mean bad luck, and how he used me in front of his crew. I disagreed. Badger saved me after all. Andrew's anger only grew, and he took the first step in my direction, obviously needing all his willpower to stay quiet, as he just repeated what he said, just with more insults added. I told him he was unreasonable, being shocked at how he turned from being the kind man I knew to someone insulting another over the fact that he talked with me. We went back and forth, with only the same argument points, before he stood directly in front of me. I told him that I would leave, that I would not need him, and that whatever got into him was not appreciated. He told me I could not, that I had to stay, that I would never leave him. It was the moment he grabbed my arm when I lost myself. I just pushed him. I don't know why he fell. He was a good amount of height larger than me and formed through years of hard work. But somehow I managed to bring his balance out of order and made him fall backwards. It should have been just that, a simple fall. But whoever took care of the stables that day was not the tidiest person, and the next thing I knew was how the smell of blood filled the air. It was not a quick death, I would assume. The lungs seemed punctured, but his heart was still beating, making the blood rush out of his chest. The scream of pain broke up the whole stable. I did not stay to see the end, which definitely came over him. I slithered back in the shadow the thieves had shown me and made my way backwards toward the hiding place. And even though I must have looked bad, no question were asked this evening either, as Betsy gave me a beer and an extra blanket for the night. This is how Andrew died. Where is he? I have to cross him out. There. Bye. Okay.